will be held at the Chicago Stadium on Tuesday, October the 24th. Proceeds of which will go to Bishop Shields' Underprivileged Youth Fund. Tickets are on sale at the CYO Center, 31 East Congress Street, and Bond Store at State Street and Jackson Boulevard. That's on the 20th. Samuel CYO will be here October the 24th in this Chicago Stadium. Thank you very much.
Well, the boys are anxious to get going, so if Les will stop talking, I think we'll get moving. The referee looks to be like Johnny Bear, and I guess that's who it's going to be. I'm looking to see who the judges are. I'm not sure. They may be George Kinney and Tommy Thomas. And they will be underway. I was telling you that Fusari is orthodox, a stand-up type of boxer, in comparison to Pellone's Bobby and weaving tactics. When you see these boys, one depends upon a fast left jab, that's Fusari, the other one on a fast left hook, and that's Pellone. Now, I guess these are the announcements.
This is a feature attraction, 10 rounds. From Irvington, New Jersey, wearing black and white trunks, weighing 148 pounds, Charley Fusari. Charley Fusari. The officials sitting on the north side of the ring, Judge George Kinney. On the south side of the ring, Tommy Thomas, the timekeeper, Mike Murphy, counting for the knockdown at the bell, Charles Sidebottom, the referee, Johnny Bear. His opponent from Greenwich Village, New York, wearing white and black trunks, weighing 146.5 pounds, Tony Pellone. Tony Pellone.
All right, you boys will keep your punches in fair territory. You were briefed on the rules this afternoon. Any low punches can cost you the round. I want you to protect yourself at all times. No sneak punches on the break. You understand those simple rules? Shake hands and come out fighting. Protect yourself at all times.
All right, we'll have round number one coming up, and I correct the weight to 146.5 for Tony Pellone, whom I announced as being a half-pound heavier at 148.5 over Charley Fusari. The 10-second warning whistle. Johnny Bear, the third man in the ring. That's Tony Pellone you're looking at, dancing up and down. Very confident that he's able to beat Charley Fusari again, and here they go. Fusari hasn't been out since he fought for the welterweight championship with Sugar Ray over in Jersey City. That was August 9th. On September 22nd, Johnny Saxton defeated Tony Pellone at St. Nick's. And that was a cute fight to see. 2 minutes to go of the first round. Both boys feeling each other out. That process. Well, we've got added assistance now. From Fort Riley, we have Joe Lewis, who's starting a needle. And, Joe, you can move in here. We can have a little chat after a while. Joe and I worked the broadcast during the war. And that was the Fort Riley he was referring to. I guess that gives you the idea of what the fight's going to be. You're going to have the orthodox boxer Fusari attempting to pile up the points, and you're going to have tough Tony trying for a rock crusher if possible. 1 minute to go of the first round. Uh-oh. That was an off-balance tap at the same time. Throwing that left. Pellone, of course, was on his toes and trying to duck away from the left. Took it lightly on the head and was off balance. a minute to go of the first round. Chicago taking a look at both these boys. First time for Fusari. Fusari said down the dressing room he could take Pellone. When I told that to Pellone, Pellone says I can match him anytime. There's the end of the first round. Now, as we watch Tony Pellone turning around, going back to his corner, let's talk about him for a moment. This kid's been out 65 times. He's won 43 fights, lost 17. Been knocked out twice in his career. He's 25 years of age, 5 feet 6 inches in height. And this year, he has won 4 fights and lost 2. He lost to Billy Graham to start the year, and he lost his last battle to Johnny Saxton, in between beating Tony Giallo, Adrian Mogart, Walter Haynes, and Adrian Mogart again. He was unimpressive when he started his career. He lost 7 of his first 12 bouts, but he became a spoiler round about 45, winning over Johnny Williams, Lulu Costantino, and Billy Graham, and he's come on from there to move up. Now, in the other corner, we have the sensational Charley Fusari. He's been out 72 times. He's won 63, lost 8. And he's been knocked out once with 1 draw. During his first 4 years in the ring, he compiled that almost unbelievable record of 45 straight wins before Tony Pellone stopped it. Round number 2 coming up here at Chicago Stadium. In the black trunks with the white stripe on the left of your camera or your picture. Now on the right, Charley Fusari. With the white trunks, black stripe, now on the right of your camera, Tony Pellone. Hasn't changed. Fusari, always the boxer, now willing to start working on what appears to be a left eye of Tony's that has just a slight touch of scar tissue, and it's turning a little red because Fusari is trying to cross, and he's possessed of a good cross for that eye. That gives it to you pretty good. When Pellone gets nettled, he'll flail away, and of course Fusari is basing his boxing ability on that left jab. He has a very powerful right cross. Right cross, by the way, has starched 37 of his opponents in those 72 battles. Tough Tony is very annoying. He's that nettling kind of a boxer. He's got that left hook. He throws it from any angle. He's not a puncher like Charley, but he is annoying. A minute to go of the second round. I just took a look around to see what Joe Louis was doing, and his face was wide open at that flurry. He's a real interested boxing observer. Actions increased. So with a half minute to go of round 2, you can begin to see why the crowd likes it. They're going to see it. It's going to disintegrate into a beautiful, belting battle. Round begins between Charley Fusari, at whom you're now gazing. His back is to the camera, and Tony Pellone. We'll have to keep this one. Once in a while, we'll have a comment now from Joe Louis, who is sitting right here by the mic. Joe, how does it look to you in 2 rounds so far?
Well, Ted, I think that the fight so far is very good. I'm only wondering, will both of the boys be able to carry this pace? You know, I think they're at a terrific pace right now.
Yes, they have been, and they speeded up this last round, didn't they?
That's right.
Well, let's watch him, Joe. I just told the audience a while ago, Joe and I thought perhaps I might be correct, that Tony, who beat Fusari once before, is out to belt him as much as he can to get him off balance, and Fusari is going to have to fight all the way with his boxing ability.
That's right. You know, Tony is very strong, you know.
Yes, he is. How do you think it'll come out? It'll be a tough belting battle, won't it?
I think so. I think that it is very close so far, and I think that it will be close. I think it'll be pretty tough to judge in the end of 10 rounds.
I agree with you. By the way, Joe, you're doing pretty good as a commentator. Looks like you've got a future when your boxing days are through.
Well,
there's a boxer's advantage. When he gets tagged a few times, he has the ability, of course, to shake them off and box a boy away, and that's what Fusari's strength lies in. 1 minute to go, round 3. Slipping after throwing a right. That'll occur, no count. Well, that pace that Joe Louis discussed with me just a moment ago continues. Along with his strength, trying for that quietus. The round is almost at an end. And there you have the end of round 3, and we're watching Tony Pellone go back to his corner. I'd like to have you take a look now at Uncle Joe. He's sitting right here. Joe, if you'll take a look at the camera and just kind of wave to the folks. Thank you very much. We tried to have a good look at you, you know, after the fight when you fought with Ezra Charles, but you ran out of the ring fast.
Yeah, well, my trainer get me a race there, so, and my manager, so I didn't get a chance. I heard you calling me for me too when I was down the steps.
Well, you were. You were on your way down the steps, and I wouldn't ask you to come back there.
I tried to get that back, but they pushed me on down.
You've got a fight coming up soon, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try it November 29th.
With Cesar Brion?
Cesar Brion,
Will that be out here?
Be here in Chicago.
Well, Joe, we'll meet again.
This time I'll be in the ring and you'll be talking about me.
Fine.
Again.
Well, you stay here and I'll do a little talking. Once in a while, if you see something that you think I ought to tell the folks, we'll see whether or not you have a good career as a commentator.
Okay.
Round 4 coming up. No doubt that Tony is out to get Charley as fast as he can. He throws those left hooks, Joe, from any angle.
Tony is very strong now. You see me somewhat walking right in on Fusari now. Somewhat making Fusari fight this fight now because Fusari started slugging now and fighting instead of staying to his smooth boxing as he noted for.
Well, that's a very interesting observation. There you have it from the champ. And when a man makes a man fight his own fight, he has a great and distinctive advantage. Fusari hasn't had a good year this year, by the way. He's fought 5 times. He's lost 3 bouts and won 2. 2 minutes to go in round number 4. only man that ever stopped Charley Fusari was Rocky Graziano last year. Tony Pellone's been on the deck twice for the full count. Early in his career by Georgie Knox, and of course you probably remember the great fight in which he was knocked out by the late Vince Foster. Minutes ago of the fourth round. You're seeing a mighty good scrap because the camera reveals all of the little tricks, all the cute appliances that both boys have as far as their styles are concerned. And while Pellone is breathing, throwing punches, he's still in there tireless up to this point. You don't think he'll go that way all the way, do you, Joe?
I think that, you mean Pellone?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I never seen Pellone fight, but I know one thing. I understand he's a very conditioned fighter, and that I think he can go that way. I think he'll go pretty close that way.
Well, he's certainly belting Fusari around now. The round is almost over. Well, I'd say the crowd likes that, but Tony always takes the long way around. That's the second time. Round number 5 coming up now, and the boys are beginning to look for action that may set their cameras up. So let's go. Fusari has the height advantage, if that might be something, about 2.5 inches. The weights are even. No love lost between the boys. 2 minutes to go of the 5th round. 10-round go here at Chicago Stadium. And ready on any occasion to make a comment, Joe Louis, who's been talking with us. Joe likes to watch fights. He doesn't want to talk. Tony's roughing things up in there kind of cutely in the clinches. Peculiarly, Joe says he's very well conditioned, but he's the one that's breathing the harder of the two.
I think that Tony right now is getting a little tired. I noticed, like I said, I noticed his mouth dropped open a little bit more now.
Yes, I noticed that. That's why I commented on it, Joe.
Well, the last round was a pretty hard round for him.
And he was belting away on that one. That's the first time I've ever seen Fusari throw bolo punches, but he had to do it in close. Well, there's the end of round number 5, and quite a round it is. We're watching Charley Fusari go back to his corner, and now the two boys attending to him are Tony and Jimmy Marcillo. Vic Marcillo, his manager, is back at home and slightly under the weather. That is, he's ill. So looking for his 64th win in 73 fights. He's fought 72, and he's only lost 8. Charley Fusari is in there, and he's had to weather a quite rough go as far as the first 5 rounds are concerned. Pellone putting a spurt on around the middle section of these 5 rounds we've seen. And I see now the camera is on us. And I guess we can look back at you again. Perhaps you'd like to hear from Joe Louis as long as we're here together. Joe, perhaps you might, halfway through the fight, give us a further comment.
Well, I'd like to say one thing. I think that so far there's been a very good fight, and I think it's a very close fight, too. And I also think that the people who are looking at it on television, I think they get some awful good shots of angles, shots on this fight.
You can see them over here yourself once in a while. Thank you, Joe. That is the 6th round now in our past Blue Ribbon event, which you're looking at. Charley Fusari and Tony Pellone. Well, Tony Pellone's always been a great club fighter. Great crowd pleaser. He depends on terrific speed with both hands and his feet, and that's been apparent for the first 5 rounds. He's got that beautiful uppercut. Comes off the right, and he's got that ripping left hook. However, he is prone to injuries, and he's got to watch those, especially with a man who can hit as sharply as Fusari. Minutes to go of round number 6. Not as many ringside comments we can listen to as often as usual because most everybody's quiet trying to hear what Joe Louis says every now and then. Riley was back about 8 or 9 years ago, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, that was 1943, when you picked me out of a crowd of many soldiers.
I didn't have much picking to do, Joe. You stood head over heels over the whole bunch as far as physical proportions were concerned. Minutes ago, the 6th round, and now you begin to see Fusari ready and willing now to box from a greater distance, from a longer range. Two very noticeable things about the exchange then, with a half a minute to go of this 6th round. Fusari not hitting as sharply and crisply as usual, despite the fact that he's landing leather. And the other, Pellone willing to throw that left from any angle to get one in and follow it up with a right. That's the end of round number 6, and things are beginning to even up as far as rounds are concerned. The boys are settling down to normal boxing and belting. Well, the other world champions right alongside of us. Joe, it's gone 6 rounds. It's getting better, isn't it?
It's getting much better, and I really think that way the last 2 rounds been, that Fusari now seemed to come on a little bit now, and I think that first 4 rounds, the 5 rounds, some were telling on Pellone. Don't you think so?
That's exactly the way the score chart is here, so we'll see if we're right, Joe, which you should be. What a pleasure it is having you, too, kid. Charley's nose is beginning to show just a little blood. Every now and then the camera reveals what that left does when it hits his proboscis. That's the schnoz. Bring the language back. Well, there's the proof of what Joe Louis told you earlier in the fight around the first and second round, that Pellone was truly superbly conditioned, because while he may have coasted a bit under the rapid fire of Fusari the last 2 rounds, here he is belting away again with all the vim and vigor of the first 2 and 3 rounds. Charley's landing that right. Pellone fights out of it. Funny to see Fusari lead with the right and get away with it 3 times the way he did. He's got Pellone's left eye red, but not closed nor in danger of swelling. 1 minute to go of the 7th round. Charley's going for that right pretty heavily now, isn't he, Joe?
Yeah, he catching with that right hand pretty solid. Last 2 right hand, he caught him pretty solid coming in.
Half a minute to go, 7th round. That's Charley's big asset, catching anybody as annoying as Pellone coming in. It stops the attack, of course. Well, there's the end of the 7th round. The boys are beginning to like this. I think Tough Tony is having it tough now, and Fusari is cannonading. We'll see what the next rounds have. Can't always guarantee comments by Joe Louis, but they've been mighty good comments to this point, Joe. This fight, of course, can go either way now with the 8th, 9th, and 10th rounds coming up.
I think that is a very close fight now, but I think it's one of the best fights that we've probably seen in a long time.
Well, both boys are willing to mix it. There's no doubt about that. Scorecard's going to be awfully tough to keep, Joe. Round number 8. Disintegrate to. Pellone's left eye is just slightly bruised. It's not cut. Fusari notices that and wants to go to work on it. And that's the eye, by the way, that has a slight scar tissue over it that could cause some trouble to Tough Tony. To go of the 8th round. 10-round bout here at Chicago Stadium. Same effects seem to be the same effects. Pellone always kind of just brings a little blood to Fusari's nose at the start of a round after they've administered to it at the intermission between rounds. It does retard a bit of Fusari's breathing, but it doesn't stop his punching ability. Fusari is now dropping his arms a little bit, Joe, and coming in there with his face open for either a right or a left, as the case may be.
Yeah, he is leading something, but I think that he somewhat looks like to me that Pellone is getting a little tired now, and he's taking a little bit liberty with him now, and they're reaching him pretty regular with that left hand, too.
That's quite regularly, too. It always happens, just when we say that.
Well, when I hit a punch, I always got a chance.
Boy.
Well, this is like one of the best rounds so far, don't it?
It is by far the best round. Well, there's the end of the 8th round. And Joe, there again, Pellone is a little bothered when he goes back to his corner. That's the 3rd time. The crowd likes that. It's amazing how the fight will suddenly turn. Pellone got that good blow in, the left hook, followed up with 2 or 3. It appeared he might be able to knock Fusari off, and Fusari very calmly fought right out of it again.
That's right. Well, that's come because that Fusari he keeps himself put together pretty good, you know, and the way he fights pretty well. He always thinking in his ring. You can look at Fusari, and you always feel in your mind that he's thinking in the ring all the time. That's why I guess that's what makes him such a good boxer.
Well, he's had a very impressive record, as you know. And against tough Tony Pellone, why, he just has to keep his head about him no matter whether he's hit or not. He has the experience, of course, to shake off a blow.
Yes, he do.
You want me to talk about you, do you, Joe?
No, I think we should talk about this fight and about perhaps Ribbon Bell.
Well, Joseph, I didn't know you cared. You're swell. It is the 9th round of a 10-rounder coming up, and it's a very close fight. Recapping up to this point, both boys have been doing equal damage to each other. Pellone started out furiously, and then Fusari has taken the later play away from him. It's a wonderful two-fisted attack that Fusari started out with, and Tony has to keep looking at the clock to weather the conditions. Right now, Joe, Pellone is a catcher.
Yeah, right now, but he still can punch, though, and Fusari can't take too much liberty, I think.
Well, I agree with you, because one left hook can knock him off balance, and he might be knocked off balance permanently. Funny thing is, Tony keeps his eyes open always when he's in close to see if he can find an opportunity to get over that left hook.
He almost did what we did after time. In fact, he might have heard this.
Funny thing was, he had a bolo punch ready, and he held that back, Joe. Minutes ago of the 9th round, and it's a very close fight all the way. Points piled up by Fusari, maybe offset by aggressiveness on the part of Pellone. That, of course, is up to the judge.
Fusari eye bruised a little bit.
Yeah, he's starting to bleed from that left eye, Joe. Pellone's out on his feet right now, but he'll fight back always, as he does. There you have the indication of a man. Exhaustion, I think, Joe.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, it was a terrific fight.
There's the end of the 9th round. Well, I like that. Crowd cheering. Great applause. Suddenly, Fusari ran out of gas. Or rather, I should say Pellone ran out of gas. Fusari, detecting that only in the way that Pellone was running around the ring, went to work in his anxiety and overshot the mark. Well, Joe, do you think they can bring him back in 1 minute?
Well, I'm looking at him in the corner, and now it looks like they're getting together. Only got a little bruised eye, but he may be a little tired when he come up for the 10th round. But nevertheless, I think it's a very good fight, and in both boys, I think is very good condition. I watched them pretty close now, and the box that hard in the 9th round, I think they got to be in good condition.
Well, we were watching Izzy Klein and Teddy Bentham and Patty Ryan working on Tony Pellone. He's a very exhausted boy and very tired, and all I think that Fusari will have to do now is just wait his turn. So the bell will sound for the 10th and final round. Tony actually is on clear street. He's going to have to coast this one, watch himself. It's that right that has scarred so many of Fusari's opponents that Tony has to watch out for.
Well, I see some players that really made him out of trying to knock him out. I think that he got him in pretty bad shape, too.
If he knocks him out, Joe, it'll be the 3rd time in his career that Tony Pellone has gone down. But he's rugged, but he certainly is punchy. Funny thing, Joe, I thought perhaps he had just punched himself out and punched himself into exhaustion.
Well, I think so, too. I think he fought himself out.
Around the ringside, they're yelling either stop it or no, Charlie, let him stay. But he's hitting at will now. It's a brutal beating he's taking now. He has no defense for what Charlie Fusari will do, as you can see. Left side down, his left arm is cut. 7, 8, 9. He was up just before the 9 count. The official, who is your referee, noticing the condition, Johnny Bear, stops the fight with approximately 1 minute and 50 seconds gone, and we'll get the time in just a moment. So Charley Fusari is the winner of a technical knockout. We'll wind things up as soon as we get the official time, as Les Moffat goes. Well, it kind of turned out tough, didn't it?
It did turn out tough. All the one thing I can say, they were a very lovely fight, and Fusari put up a wonderful fight, and so did Tony Pellone.
I want to thank you very much, Joe, for having been here tonight and for these comments. I think they've enhanced the bout. Certainly gave us an insight from a lad who knows, and we're just waiting now for the time, and then we'll kind of have to run along, because you look at your clock and you'll see we're a little bit late, and we'd like to get on downtown, too. Trying to catch a plane to get back to New York City. Timeless.
The winner in 1 minute, 44 seconds of the 10th round by a technical knockout, Charley Fusari.